Record keeping. Record keeping. More record keeping. Record keeping. Record keeping. Record keeping. Yep, record keeping. Future record keeping. When I say it's a solid sheet of ice out here, folks, I am not kidding. Could there be any more ice? Good morning. It is it is finally light enough to video. So I've been up since, I don't know, 4:30 this morning. I stayed at the property last night because it was gonna snow and the horses are low on hay, so are the sheep. So I've got to get the bobcat started. My husband stayed in town last night because he has to be to work a little earlier than I do. So I just stayed up here and got to start the bobcat and go get the big bale of hay that I'll tell you more in detail at the end of the video. So it's snowing. It's 24 degrees. No, it's 25 degrees when I walked outside. And the horses, they're waiting for food because they're fat and spoiled. And of course I went to start the bobcat and the sheep came from their pasture and they're eating all the hay, of course. Woo! It's, so, bless you. There may be snow on top of the ground, but it's solid ice. So, this might be interesting. Hi guys! Little pigs, they should have, oh, I just fed them last night. They have tons of hay. Goodness, they have hay in their feeder. They also have hay in the small feeder, the small bale feeder. Hi, Ruckus. Say hi to Andrew because he doesn't know how to spell your name. Bless you. Hi, Andrew. Okay, so I'm dragging the small bales up to the horse. Gosh, you're probably gonna see me fall. I'm dragging the small bales up to the horses so I can get them out of the area that I need to put the big bale, but I just had a thought that's not a very good one, that the fence that I have to open for the garden might be frozen. So we're gonna walk up this way and hopefully it's not frozen because that means I have to flop the bale over the fence, and I don't want to do that. I want to place it gently. So, hi, sweetie. Oh. Odie. That's probably why he doesn't like dogs, dum-dum. Oh, well, this side, that side down there looks like it's okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so. Oh, well. It's mostly okay. There's a little frozen spot right here, but right there. I think I can break that loose. Yep, I can. Yes, okay. So, Odie's being a little jerk to Skip, of course. That little dog right there has, Odie. He has little dog syndrome. He thinks he's bigger than he is. But that's going to bite him in the ass one of these days because Skip does not put up with dogs. So I try to scold him when I can, but he doesn't listen hardly ever. So, all right, feed the horses. So I had to go put Odie inside. He was getting cold, and I just realized that I have how many layers I've got. My t-shirt, my sweater. Yeah, I slept in my clothes. I was watching a movie last night. Fell asleep. And my vest. I just put my vest on because I was cold. And my jacket. So I've got layers. I'm a little poofy this morning, and I am getting hot. So it is no longer feeling like 25 degrees out here. Can't go anywhere with the sheep. They follow me all over the place. Okay, I said it before in a previous video, and I'm definitely gonna say it again. I am not a good bobcat operator. Nope. I get the controls mixed up all the time, but I can get the job done. So that's really, in the end, I didn't break it, and and the horses have a new bale of hay. So I've got to do, actually, I think I'm gonna leave the other one to my husband because I'll come up here tonight. Goodness, I'll come up here tonight and help him do the round bale for the sheep, but it's a little more than a one-person job sometimes. I could do it, but did I get everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are we missing? Where's Ruckus? Ruckus must be inside. What's that doing? Oh yeah, Ruckus is inside. Okay. I had to lock the sheep in so they wouldn't get out the gate. And now I can go put the feeder ring back on and try not to fall on my face or my butt walking back up the driveway. Died. So the problem is that's an 8-foot feeder. It's an 8-foot bale. So what I did last season, actually I'll show you, was I put washers and a couple bolts right down, I'm backwards, right down there in the cracks. There's some there, some at the bottom. I did that on the joints around it, so it gives me a couple, maybe 2 or 3 more inches. But this time, there's a leg on this side right here. So that leg got stuck on the hay. So normally, I can turn it to where the leg doesn't catch, but it was icy. The feeder kept sliding on the ice, of course. It wanted to go downhill, so I didn't have a lot of control. And I did what I said I wasn't going to do, or what I was going to do. I didn't get it on video. You know how some people have a trick hip? I have a trick back. And coming down, right on the other side of the Grumpy Camel, right down there, right down the driveway, I slipped. And when you're on ice or mud and you overcorrect the car, you oversteer. That's what I did. I oversteered my back. So that wasn't very fun, but whew, it is, I don't even know what time it is, probably 7:30. Maybe closer to 8. I got to get to work. I got to be to work at 9 o'clock this morning. So that's part of the record keeping too. This is kind of a record keeping video, isn't it? Was that this video? Yeah. So I put in that bale, we're going to put in the sheep's bale. And yeah, it's great that we only have to get out the bobcat and feed hay once every few weeks, because they eat that bale down at the same time. So it's kind of great. So, okay, folks, I'm going to work. Happy snow day. You'll see me soon. Well, of course you will, because it's a record keeping video. We'll see in the editing. Okay, so I will give you a very, 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 very crash course on what I do for my record keeping. So this year we're going to be tagging our holdback ewes. So we are going to have a closed flock, which is, we don't want to bring in any other sheep onto the property because we don't want them to be sick. We don't want them to be, we want them to be born here, so there's really no chance of them, hopefully, being sick, getting sick, having something that's contagious. So these tags, they are the mini Witex tags. The blue ones, so what we're going to do with our rams, so we have 2 rams. We have Chester and we have Dwayne. Dwayne is actually going to have the blue tag. So I'll show you a little bit of how they're going to work. Okay, these are just the mini tags. So this one is going to be for Chester. So he's going to have the yellow tag. Dwayne's going to have the blue tag. So that way, if we have any holdback ewes, we know exactly who was bred to who, and we're not going to put them in together for breeding. So yellow tag does not get put in with a yellow tag when it comes to breeding. Blue tag, not with the blue tag. So this is how I do my record keeping. So all of our sheep are labeled with the year that they were born and the number they were born in that year. So this ewe lamb is going to be the first one if we have a holdback ewe. Again, this is just for just to show you how I do it. So first lamb of the year is going to be 20-1 because it's 2020 and -1. So, and then I put on the back. So this hangs on the sheep's ear. So this is on the front side of the ear, if this is the ear. And then there's a button that goes on the very back. So it's just like getting your ears pierced. So this is the tagger. Slides in here, the male end with the pointy part, show you. Goes on the back. So this is on the back side of the ear. So if they're running around, we can tell exactly which ewe lamb it is. Now on the back, I'm going to have them all written down anyway. So this, you're probably not going to be able to see part of this anyway, but it's fine. Again, I put the ewes number on the back, and then 16-2, that's actually the ram's or the sire's number, and then who she was bred to. So who the mom and the dad are. So the sire dam. And so in this case, it would be Chester, and who's 16-4? I don't know. I just wrote it down just for the sake of doing it. So 3. Okay. So 16-4, that's Maddie. So let's pick on Maddie. Here is what I typically do on all of my sheets. Now I have them in the computer too, but I bring my clipboard out with me to the field. So the number's actually over here too. So Maddie, she's white, small horns, she's a ewe. Last year she had, on April 25th, she had a boy and a girl. So she had twins. So she was dewormed and CD&T'd. So this is, what is it? Clostridial type C and D, and then tetanus. That is to prevent them from overeating. It's an overeating disease. If you want more information, I'll see if I could find a quick, like a Wikipedia thing and put it up for you. They were actually given a booster. I just didn't write it down. I put it in the computer. So, and then they were all dewormed. The babies were also dewormed. She was shorn, 320. So, and then in the comments here, I always write anything that's weird. So we banded Ruckus, but since he has his own page because we're keeping him, I just crossed it out. So she went in with Chester 10-19 of last year. So we put her in with the ram. So I know this year exactly who is bred to who. So beautiful. She's in with Dwayne. I'm so excited for that. So anyway, this is my field clipboard. So that goes with me to the field. another thing, and I'm crazy about record keeping. It must be because of the 4-H that I was in when I was young for years and years. So keeping track of my hay is very important to me. So when we just had horses, we would typically get hay from one or two sources. We would get a large bale and large bale and some small bales. They went through 4 ton a year. That's all they went through. They're on pasture most of the year. This year we have sheep. I don't know how much we're going to go through. I just estimated based on their breed and how much per day they eat. Since I already know how much the horses eat, I did some calculations and gave us a little bit more. So in the barn, we already had 2 tons from our other hay producer. And then we bought, let's see, we had grass alfalfa from him. It was $180 a ton. Then we had free, which this came from a family friend. So love you, Mike and Christina. That came from them. So we wrote it down. So, and then this was, wait a minute, where'd it go? We had, bad hay. So I wrote down the cost, how much we got, what the description was, who we bought it from, and if it was good or bad hay. This particular hay that we got, it was super cheap, $150 a ton. They made it look great, sound great. We bought it. It was bad hay. Most of the hay that we bought, those 2 tons, were moldy, full of weeds, dust, couldn't feed it, ended up burning most of the pile. So that was bad. So this coming year, I know who I bought those big bales from. I know where they came from, if they were good or bad. When we go to slaughter, I'm going to go through the Scrapie stuff with you here in just a minute too. So we did not Scrapie tag any of these sheep that we had for butchering. So we had 9 sheep that we had 10, but we did one way before this. So I kept really good records. This is all hanging weight. We how can I say this without getting taken off YouTube? We sent them to the greener pastures in the sky. Let's just say that. On 11/24, and then this group here went on 11/26. So once we skinned them, gutted them, their hanging weight, or the carcass weight, Heidi, we didn't count because she was an old grumpy, I almost said a bad word, grumpy ewe. We didn't weigh her because I couldn't pick her damn carcass up. The ram, and then I weighed all of the hanging weights, and then who we were going to sell them to or give them to or whatever we were doing with them. So the boys last year, their hanging weight averaged 40.22. The girls averaged 36.5 pounds. So girls obviously are a little bit lighter, but Icelandics aren't that big. They are not like the Ile-de-France, the Ritos, some of the other ones that are big bodied and really heavy on the meat. So these are Icelandics. They're a little bit smaller. I guess they're a medium-sized sheep, but the meat is delicious. When we went to butcher them, so we slaughtered them, we hung them in the shop, and so they cured. Well, I have Ken, Gary, Jean, ours, Andrea's, we have everybody written down as to who wants what, the number of the sheep that they were, and exactly what they wanted. So let's say Ken wanted choice cuts only and then rest burger. We wanted choice cuts, legs roast, rest burger. Andrea wanted choice cuts, good steaks. Hi, Andrea. I saw that you subscribed. Love you, darling. And the good steaks and the rest burger. She's feeding her dogs some of the lamb meat, which is super, super awesome. I do the same thing. So that's really handy to know when we go into butchering and slaughtering this year. So hay feeding, I wrote down when we fed the horses the 3x4 bales, and you'll see it in a minute too. I'll show you the bales again. This is the round bales. And then luckily for us, it works out perfect because the sheep will go through their round bale in their feeder every about 3 weeks. The horses, the same thing. So we only have to feed them. Well, we have to feed them 2 bales at the same time. It's perfect. It's not like the horses go through the hay faster than the sheep. They go through them at the same time. So I know how much hay we're going through. So that's that. Now, the Scrapie eradication. That's very, very, very important. Gosh darn it. I got deer antlers trying to attack me. So here's my other book that I keep inside. Here's another form. So this is what I give to anybody who buys our sheep alive. I mean, we don't do this if they are butchered here on the farm, but I have our Scrapie or a flock ID number, the Scrapie tag numbers, or the ID numbers, and then of course each sheep had their own ID number, which is our flock number, and Icelandic, the date of birth, whether they're a ewe, a ram, or a wether, when we dewormed and CD&T'd. This particular case, she bought a ewe and 2 babies. So, and I wrote down here that the new owner is to give the CD&T booster. So she was going to do that, and what we sold them for and what date. So, they named this ewe Freya, and then Bella, and then Calypso. So I wrote down the dam, the sire, the dam, the sire. So who they were actually bred to. Very important. If you are in the Scrapie program, which everybody that has sheep and goats really should be, Scrapie is a kind of a nasty little thing. And I put a description on my previous video. So this is the eradication program. So any sheep that we have to keep the records for 5 years. Any sheep that leaves the farm or comes onto the farm will be having a Scrapie flock ID tag. I don't have them yet. I just ordered them a couple weeks ago, so they should be here in a couple weeks, and I'll show them to you then. They're just a little white tag that goes in their ear, very small. Let's see. You don't need to see that. So Scrapie stuff. I wish, and I know they had it in here somewhere, I was going to read to you a little bit on what Scrapie was. So what it does, it is, I can't remember what they call it, but anyway, it makes their hair fall out. It makes them not able to walk or function. They stumble around. It eventually will kill them. It will not, it cannot pop up between 2 and 5 years. So that's why you need to keep all these records for 5 years, just in case you had a sheep that presented signs of Scrapie and went to a farm. So the purpose of the Scrapie system is not only do they have your flock ID number that they can hey boys, I'm recording. No respect. So, and then they could trace that sheep, lamb, goat back to the original owner or where they came from or whoever had that flock ID tag, and they could track it because they're trying to eradicate, which they're doing a good job. So, sorry, my dogs. Okay, it just says blah, 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 where to put them, where the, okay. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but in a nutshell, Scrapie is a fatal degenerative disease affecting the central nervous system of sheep and goats. There is no cure or treatment. So, basically, any of our sheep that are going to be butchered here on the farm, we're not going to tag them. If anybody wants to take them off of our farm, they will have a Scrapie tag. They will be documented. Hey! Again, no respect. They're just like children. So anyway, that's what we do. Our certified flock ID number, our Scrapie tag. Anyway, all right. So that's enough of my record keeping. As soon as, oh yeah, we're gonna be building a house, so I have the septic design stuff for our house here too. My goodness, what else do I have in here? Oh, key boxes. All right. So, goodness gracious, my dogs are crazy. So anyway, record keeping on your farm is such a good idea. It depends on your ability to record keep. Also, I was thinking the other day, if you had kids, it would be a fantastic idea to get them involved a little bit with the record keeping. So even if it's chickens, it would be such a good way for, like, oh, you have a chicken, you could have them maybe draw a picture of what that chicken looks like. Just write it down, maybe their color, what foods they like. Have the little kids start record keeping at a young age. They will love to do it. If you guys have sheep or goats, have them just draw a picture of the markings on that sheep or goat. If they have horns, if they're a boy or girl, or, you know, what they think their favorite color is or whatever. Have them keep records when they're young, because I guarantee if they enjoy doing that when they're younger, they're going to keep good records when they get older. Like me, because I had to do it for 4-H. So we had to do it for our record books. And back then I wasn't the biggest fan. But now it's so handy because 3 years down the road, if you're like, oh, I wonder who bred that lamb. Oh, that lamb was a really great lamb. Well, you have it written down. You have their tag number. You know who they were bred to. Or if you thought, oh my gosh, when did I give the CD&T booster? When did I deworm them? I don't remember. Look it up in your records. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I will show you the bales of hay. So I'm going to run outside. It's 22 degrees at the moment. So I'm going to do it quick. I'll be right back. Dogs. Yeah, acting all innocent now, of course. Okay, so if you guys have not seen my videos before and you don't know what the big bales are, so this stack, we have 950-pound round bales, and they're over here, we have 1,350 or something like that square bales. So I'll show those to you. Okay, so under the tarp, that is a 3 by 4 by 8 feet long. That is one of the big bales. That's the grass bale that we feed the horses. And then if you guys have seen my got ice video, which was freaking ridiculous, well, we have more ice that's weighing down the tarp. Look at that. That is solid freaking ice. So I cut the tarp along the bottom to get to the hay bales, and it's iced up again. So poke my head up under here. So these are the big bales. They're about 6 feet wide. So those are grass, mostly grass. So just so you guys know what the heck I'm talking about, that's that. So I'm going to go inside. It's a little bit cold. Hi, turds.